Thanks for staying with us. So earlier today, a video surfaced on Punch newspaper Instagram's page where actress Annie Dibia's brother cried out on the actress threatening his life. He proceeded to make claims ranging from drug use, being denied a manager job, to not being appreciated or put in position to stand on his own and take care of his family. All right, so just watch this video in case you haven't seen the video.
My name is Wisdom Macaulay. I'm elder brother of Annie Macaulay Dibia. I'm crying out for help now. At this moment, my life is being threatened. I have been working with my sister for some time, but she will never pay me my dues. She would rather send me 20,000, 30,000, turn me to her slave, and at the end of the day, she can decide when she's angry to end it. Some weeks back, her husband sent me some money, gave me some money. I've been begging him for years. The money wasn't so much, but I used it to settle my home. I have a wife. Imo State, I am sorry. They have not come to do the right thing. They have not come to pay your daughter's dowry. It's not because I don't want to. It's because I've been manipulated for many years. Annie introduced me to drugs, hard drugs. Annie takes drugs. She's a drug addict. She takes it every day. She is so violent. And it is the same thing, the same way she doesn't have peace with anybody. She quarrels everybody. She fights everybody. I defended her because I love her as a sister. But I now realize that she doesn't even have love or any good intentions for me. I wasn't around for 2 weeks. I came back because I had my own issues I was trying to sort. I came back, begged my sister that we should continue with the things, that the work and everything. She decided to take everything away from me. She took away the job. She wouldn't give me a car. I've been begging my sister for a car.
So the video is about 4 minutes long, so you can search for it online and watch it. So Teresa Omoronya said in an article titled Entitlement Mentality, and I quote, "In recent times, I have been reading stories which seem to confirm how much people who consider themselves poor will happily attack others who appear better than them. The rising number of kidnapping cases in the country is an example. When caught, these criminals, who are often university graduates, blame the government and the society for their crime. They don't blame it on their greed and laziness. Instead, they choose to direct their unjustified anger or actions at a helpless society." Now, I blame this on entitlement mentality that many people have about life. So it is not only seen in a young graduate who believe he deserves to get a job just because he has a certificate. It is also seen in the relatives who think just because they are family members, they deserve to be supported by the more successful relative. Now, it is clear that most Nigerians, either consciously or unconsciously, have entitlement issues, right? And we are asking tonight, what is this costing us as Nigerians? The more we keep seeing people who feel entitled, you know, how is this impacting us as a people? Now, please let us share what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation, send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet to us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag #WaysShow. Right, so I saw that video this morning. I was just saying, why is this guy feeling entitled, right? It's just interesting how life plays out. But I think I should leave my opinion to myself, because the way this person is eyeing me by the corner, let me hear your thoughts. But I just feel like I want to say to Nigerians, don't be too harsh on the guy, because a lot of people really gave him the backlash of his life. If I was listening over the radio today as I was coming, they were saying that what nonsense. It's very useless. That doesn't is even a man, an older brother. This, that. But you see, when the foundation is faulty, what can you do? See, from Benin, where we are from, my sister, it is common thing. It is commonplace for you to say, I wait for my brother may come carry me go.
From Jan.
That is the only thing. You see a full-grown man sitting down and saying that he's waiting for somebody to come and take him abroad so that his life will be better. It is something that people have been groomed to believe that, you know, they are just, yes, it's a conditioning. So I really don't, I feel empathy for the guy, honestly. But let me just, as I said, let me keep myself to myself. And see. Where are we starting with?
Let me give you an idea of what someone who has an entitlement mentality looks like or feels like when you're interacting with a person. And from every indication, our young man does exhibit some of them. So he says, they said, according to a research, it says they think the rules don't apply to them. They are self-absorbed, and they are argumentative, okay? And they go out of their way to serve themselves. Another one that actually got to me is they feel that they deserve better. And it's normal with Nigerians today, basically. They feel as though they deserve special treatment. This young man has exhibited these traits. Yes. And then they are self-centered, just to state a few of these traits. So for me, I think, yes. Do we have individuals that feel entitled? Yes, they do. But I have had the opportunity to interact with children who are in primary school, secondary school, and above. And this thing is not about, like you stated, it's about foundation. And we've seen individuals who have children, treat their children in such a way that, oh, the world is your oyster. Nobody should do this to my child. Nobody should do that to my child because I believe my child deserves this. So whenever the child says, okay, the child didn't get what they're supposed to get, oh, they want to go to the moon and get it, especially based on the fact that, you know, especially the parent is from a not a well-to-do home, and they want a situation whereby the child gets what they
like overcompensate.
Yes, what they were denied. So you can't blame a parent for feeling that way, but in the process, what happens? The child feels that I am supposed to have this. I've had a situation where I have dealt with a child, and the children were given gifts in school. And the child came and said, oh, that's just a massive, that's just cheap. I can buy 5 of that in a second. Because he knows he can afford it. And I had to bring that child to order and tell the child, look, it's not about the gift. It is about the fact that they earned it. They earned it. Earning it is different from you just meeting it out.
That value.
Yes. So for every individual that is out there, yes, we do have individuals who are self-centered, self-absorbed, and yes, that young man, he has an exaggerated sense of self-worth. If he felt that the sister wasn't meeting his needs, he should have just left and done something about it. Okay, it's a simple thing.
Let me come to, I don't know who I'm coming to again next. Because I was going to throw this question out. I've always believed that if you're somebody of value, right, you won't just be discarded just like that.
Yeah.
So when you see issues like this where there's a discord or there's a dispute, it means that you're not of value to those people. So what I do is, with raising my boys, I teach them, you must make yourself indispensable. And the only way you can make yourself indispensable, it is that you are adding value to it. If somebody can just discard you and not even look back, it's even more reason for you to go back to your drawing board to sit down to say,
reflection.
What have I not? You understand?
What have I done wrong?
Doing right? You know. But let me hear your thoughts, Uti. Okay, then I'll come to you.
So there was a video, it's trending yesterday or day before yesterday, about a guy who was happily munching biscuits in the plane, and the woman tapped him.
Yes, I saw that video.
And said, my child would like to look out the window. Parents have a lot to answer for. I mean, Issy has touched on it. So when we talk about the foundation, it starts from there. I had a situation in my house 2 weeks ago. NASA's kids came over. And I had said to my son before they came, I said to my nanny actually before they got back from school, I said, how many packs of Ribena in the house? She says 2. I said, okay. So when they come, give it to the girls. They're the guests. My nanny froze. She said, what happened to? I said, he doesn't need to have any. I said, if they weren't coming, does he normally have Ribena? She said, no. I said, so it's not really about him. She couldn't process it. When they came, she still came back to check with me. So I called her and I said, do you know that this thing you're saying where, how will he feel when he sees them having it and he doesn't have it? I said, life is not fair. There's never going to be equity all the time.
Yep.
So don't teach what is not real. We often, I tell people, I say, look, I was raised in the 80s. I could complain about a lot of things, but it wasn't that bad. I think I turned out quite well, actually. Yes. The reality of it is, life is not fair. When we raise children, we start off, so it's multifaceted because you have the young children who are from the middle class and the wealthy families, being raised with an entitlement mentality because they think they can have everything, their parents want to give them everything. Then you have the people on the poorer side who, one, don't have parents that are grounding them. Because I remember being told, nobody owes you anything.
Nobody.
I brought you into this world. Even the education you get, nobody owe you anything.
It's a privilege.
And that's the mindset that we all have to have. But let's not forget that we are also in a culture, in an environment where the culture breeds entitlement. People see you. They don't know whether you have had breakfast.
They just assume.
They don't know what side of the bed you woke up on.
You're okay.
But you're okay. So how about you give me some money for breakfast? And I'm thinking, do you know my situation? Forget family now. This is just everybody else.
Yeah.
So there's a general sense of, because we live in this part of the world where it's tough. Let's be honest. It is tough and it's only getting tougher. Yeah. So people are trying to survive. There's nothing better than hunger to wipe common sense away. So people don't care. Just you look better than me. In fact, we can look the same, but just smile. You're better off. You know? So that's the reality. And then you look at our leaders. Our leaders make you feel the most entitled. I mean, after all, we don't got no money, but you got a million to give Afghanistan. Hey, how about I deserve $1 million too? I mean, what makes Afghanistan better than me? So in truth, the thing itself is just propagating. It's like a snowball. And it has gotten bigger and bigger and over the years, because begging didn't used to be this blatant. I was driving into one of probably the most popular hotels in Lagos. The lady who was at the gate, who was supposed to be checking my boots,
and making sure
she stood there and said, "Oh, fine, auntie, I don't need to check your boots. Just so such."
She's not sure if you have a bomb there to just blast the entire place.
And
so that's the reality we find ourselves in. Now, when we come to the question, for me, of what is it costing us, it's costing us a lot. And that video says it all.
Yes.
You are not a tree. You are only bonded to her by blood and by DNA.
Absolutely.
If she wasn't an Idibia, if she was anybody else,
would you come out of social media?
Are you there? If you don't like the situation, you move. I always say, if you are going to go and marry a wife, people will come for me. If you're going to go and marry, you better be able to afford it. So you now come on social media and say you have a wife, you've not paid dowry.
People.
Who? Whose business is it?
No, he's trying to garner sympathy so that people will see from his perspective.
Let me hear Noma's thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this entitlement mindset? It's like Uti rightly said, it's a snowball. I think it has even become an avalanche.
Correct.
Like, it is so huge and it's going to destroy Nigerians if we continue with this trajectory. It's going to destroy Nigerians because it's not allowing space for innovation. And we are a resourceful people. We are people with so much talent. But because the one person, for example, let me take you, using a public restaurant, restroom.
Oh yeah.
And then the person who is supposed to ensure that there's tissue and that the toilets are cleaned is there telling you, oh, auntie, anything. How about you do your job and do it diligently?
That one is annoying, Norma.
The one who is
you're supposed to give, there's supposed to be tissue there.
then she now does
then
it.
she holds it
Let me help you
and then
back.
she removes
Like she's doing
it
you a
and gives
favor.
you as if she's doing you a favor. I don't understand. Where is the dignity of labor?
So
You no longer have people who are proudly doing what they ought to do.
Supposed to do.
You now have people who have this mentality that says, you owe me and I don't owe you.
I'm doing it for you.
And there's only so far that you can go with that mentality, because guess what? It's going to rob you of opportunities. If somebody wanted to just out of the way you did your job, you were just committed and just decided, oh, to gift you, they would automatically change their minds. I was reminded very quickly about my, I was having a conversation with someone and she was talking with a cleaner. And this cleaner was so diligently doing his job. He doesn't, he just comes in, he does his job and he goes away. And then one day she meets this cleaner, says, oh, they were having a conversation and he says, oh, guess what, auntie? I have just gotten admission into the university. And it was like, oh, you are even thinking that far. You know what?
I will pay your
I'm going to
fees.
support you in your school fees. Just you let me, once you're going, let me know, send me your account details.
Yeah.
So the bigger opportunities that come up, you are robbed
Thank
because
you.
of 10 naira or 100 naira that can
feel
only
entitled
satisfy
to.
an immediate need now.
Yeah.
When you have more permanent solutions that could have been solved or that could have been created.
Let's
So it's robbing us of a lot as
actually.
Nigerians.
Let's take a break. I'd like to open our phone lines early today. We'll come back. We'll open the phone lines. Stay with us. All right, so if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and we're discussing what the entitlement mindset is costing us as Nigerians. Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-8663. You can also tweet to us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag #WadeShow. All right, so our phone line is now open to call us. The number is 07025007749. Remember the rules. Turn off the volume of your television set so we can hear ourselves clearly. All right, so before we went on a break, I like the direction that everybody's going with the conversation, but I'd like to take it back just a bit. Let me pedal it back. Our new English that we learned this week. Yes, the way the world is right now, especially the way Nigeria is right now, everybody seems to feel entitled. And that's why things are almost like going south. I can tell you for free that the people that went to loot, remember when the NSAS thing happened and the heat of it, that estates were so scared, they started donating money to give to the miscreants around because they felt that if we do not feed these people feel
They'll come for us.
Yes. This is what's it called, clearly the problem of our society today.
Yeah.
We have raised a generation, an entire breed of what's it called, people that feel like because I am not successful, you are responsible for my downfall or whatever. So
if
you
not,
should
we
be
all-
yes, if not
total
we all
well-being.
go down together. How do we move from here? Right? Because what is costing us, we can't even quantify it.
So
Except if something like that happens again, we will now see the gravity of where this can happen.
you don't even want to see it. So
Honestly.
the fact is, I had a conversation one day at a petrol station. It was during the fuel scarcity.
Yeah.
And the
You know
area
what, hold that call. Let me just quickly take our first caller for today. Franklin, I believe, from Lagos. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, yeah. What I want to say concerning is Nigerians having this notion of entitlement has much to do with the fact that the economy itself has torpedoed so much so that the so-called take-home pay can no longer take people home. Talking from the housemaid, talking about the gate man, even the teller at the counter, everybody always look forward to you giving them something. So what I want to say is that this organization concerned can just come up with some rules, that they will ensure that such modus operandi on the part of those people no longer hold sway. There should be some kind of punitive measures because sometimes it can be very embarrassing, honestly. Sometimes when you don't feel like just because, you just want to go out your way, you end up, giving out some and all that. I was at the airport the other day, the guy trying to give me tissue, and even the tissue, he was like holding it back, expecting me to give him something and all that. I was like, what is all this? So it has become like an epidemic,
it's a plague.
so to speak. It's everywhere, in all facets of our life. So I think the organization concerned, the employers should do everything within their ambit to curb such. Once they know that there are punitive measures, once we mediate and such, then many of them, I'm sure, they will renege their decisions on doing that.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
What are you?
I mean, it's endemic. And just to say to what Frank said, there are rules. Most businesses have policies against it. But again, culturally, it's entrenched. How many people, I guess, are you going to sack? You keep sacking people, the next set are going to come. The very key point that he made there is the money is not enough, so they're going to find a way. But anyway, the people at the petrol station, all these area boys and all, immediately, of course, they blocked the entrance to the petrol station. So now you're having to settle them to even try to get into the petrol station. And when it started to get a bit rowdy, had to quickly, in those times, you have to think on your feet to quickly, what can I give you boys? Let's buy beer. And they're telling you, we all just are here. We think that we're secure. We think that we're safe. When you think about all the so-called highbrow neighborhoods, just not over the fence, just right next door, the indigents are still here. And they're watching you drive past them every day in your big cars and all of that. And because there's a lack of education, there's a lack of exposure, the person is not interested in whether you worked hard to get it. Everybody's a thief.
As far as I'm concerned.
So, particularly the middle class, sitting on a powder keg because you're closest to it.
Yes.
And these people don't care, that you've struggled how many years to work
They don't care.
and buy your car.
Feel entitled to your
they
money.
they just look at it and go, why is this person better than me? And that entitlement, it's multiple factors because look at what happened at the stadium. There was no reason to vandalize the stadium.
There was no reason.
But I felt that I was aggrieved somehow by the fact that we did not go to qualify for the World Cup. So all of these things, when you boil it down to fundamental issues, education.
Let me take Loma from Abia State and I'll come back.
Absolutely.
Totally. 100%.
Are you there? You're live.
Yeah, I'm live.
Thank you for calling.
Good evening, my beautiful sister.
Thank you. Thank you for calling, Loma.
See, let me just tell you what is happening now. This time around, due to the way the ruling class have treated the low-level class, nobody will do anything this time around. You must give something. Even if your car maybe got stuck somewhere in the world, before you put it on position, because they fail to give us a sense of direction. They fail to give employment, to have opportunity to be at the heads of their pay. You fail to create employment. No, allow the youth to move around to become something else. We say we have people that deal with it. When you see young youth getting into drugs, doing all kinds of things, there's no way to walk in. But you will arrest somebody today, tomorrow you will release that person, and that person will get into that family. So people will always, like now, we are getting into election time. Before you now shout, I will vote for you. They will tell you, give me money, give me money. Because you fail to check a new one there by making sure you do not give those basic amenities for them, do things that will make them not. So that is what I think is self-development. No self-development of these people, making them know you can do this and be at the top in your life.
Thank you, Loma.
Every area of this country to become people becoming students. So it is a ruling class who are the problem of what are happening today.
Absolutely. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So thank you so much. So from what I hear him say about, you know, the system we've created, right? People are not doing their jobs. They're supposed to do their jobs. Because ideally, if you create an environment where people feel like I can just earn a decent living, they will not feel entitled. And I somewhat agree with him because, again, because I was going to ask, what is the root cause of this entitlement mentality? Why is it on the rise? Yes, you've mentioned one, education. So the system breeds entitlement. You have not created a proper system, an enabling environment. So the person just feels like, okay, every 4 years, just come hand me out. Hand me my own share. Let me collect my own. If you hear the language of the electorate during political rallies and they'll say, they'll be speaking, please help me with the Yoruba language. They'll go, I want to go and collect my own, because you don't know when next you are seeing them. Exactly. So this is the system that we have created. But I don't think we have really quantified, what is it, we should not go there. But if we understood the cost for what this entitlement mentality is costing us as a people, as a country, as Nigerians, do you think we'll continue to tolerate and encourage it?
Yeah, but what are you going to give to stop it? And because everything that we glorify breeds this mentality. You have the same data you use on Facebook to learn Yahoo. It's the same data you can use to learn data analysis and get a job.
Yes.
But
you would rather go that way.
You would go that way because
go and be begging us.
It's easier route.
When people beg me on Instagram,
I have a friend whose brother was a teacher who quit being a teacher to go and do Yahoo Boy. So, you know, fundamentally, there's a problem with how we're wired because our values are wrong. So your values alone will breed entitlement, and then people are angry.
See, let me get to the root cause of where this is coming from in education. All right, I'll come back again. In fact, I think education is everything. It's not about the system anymore. It's all the education of Nigerians have been warped from God knows when, and it has cascaded to what we have today. I was wondering why is it like this? But in the course of me interacting with children, in the course of me interacting with them from preteen to higher level, I got to understand that when you're trying to tell them, okay, you need to read and pass and learn certain things. It's not just about you reading and passing. It's about you knowing and having a functional skill in the society. And they go like, oh, we just need to read and pass for now. They don't even have a sense of direction of where they're going to or where they're coming from. And when these kids get out of school, secondary school, let's take them from secondary school, for example, how have they been trained? How have they been educated? What did they imbibe when they were in these schools? And you now get to understand one crucial thing is that in the course of you trying to tell them, read, study, and pass so that you get through this level, and that will take you to the next level, they fail. Now, when they fail, it now keeps culminating. Then you now see individuals who are supposed to be out of school, who are supposed to be in university, still looking for WAEC or JAM, whatever papers.
It's a ripple effect.
So it's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Now, this is what now leads to individuals feeling that
you
do not have a way out.
Let me hear.
I just want to.
So it's our education system.
I wanted to piggyback back off what Isi was saying about education. And I remembered when we were growing up, and there were people who had issues with JAMB and all of that. You would write JAMB until you got admission into school.
Yes.
But it didn't make you entitled. But I would take it from the place of parenting that we have in today's world.
Totally.
In Nigeria, we do not have intentional parents, people who are even being the example for their children, let alone teaching them the right thing to do. That had cascaded over time because you know, it had been watered down over time due to, I think it was Uti that mentioned that,
Our
okay, not
values are
wanting
eroded.
to, the values have eroded, people not wanting their wards or their children to suffer what they have been through, and then they are now watering down the values, and now we have a breed of younglings who think that everything has to come to them. And we need to go back. We keep mentioning parenting and we brush it off. But that is very fundamental
But are we
with
not
the generation that we're breeding today. Of course, government also has a role. I don't want to sound like a broken record. But if our government does not pay attention to what is needed to guide its citizens in the direction of progress and success, it's only a matter of time.
So I was going to ask this
Don't
question.
think
The results are going to come out.
When they talk
Don't think
about
what the
fishing,
government can
right?
do.
When they say
Teaching how to fish,
Fish.
instead of giving me
Giving me the
fish.
the fish.
Yeah.
You know, we have seen time and time and again that even in this case, because I want to go back now to why we even discussed this in the first place.
Yeah.
The Annie herself and the Two-Face, they are very, very guilty of the mindset that they have
created.
No, not really created. They might not have been the one that created it, but they encouraged it over the years in the life of that young man. So you cannot now blame him.
How?
For because you
They
see,
try to assist him.
you see,
I'm not trying to assist.
I do not believe in that philosophy of always giving people money. If you come to me for money, I will ask you, what can you do? Do you understand? Because even that is how my own children, I'm raising them. I do not believe to give you money. What can you do? How can you earn the money? You get my point?
Yeah.
So I want to believe that if over the years, even if it was the managerial work that was offered, and you said, okay, you know what, for you to be able to do this thing with excellence, there are some courses that you need to take.
Go and
some
send
trainings
them for
that you need to
training.
take.
Education.
Wait, now let's finish. Let me finish.
Head.
There are
How
some,
do you
Wait
hold on,
now.
hold on. Let me finish.
Wait.
There are some trainings and there are some courses you need to take to go and upgrade yourself. Because if you do not do X, Y, Z, I will not give you a dime.
Does the
From the
person
word go,
Does the person
he would
want to-
have brushed up. He would have sat up
Does
his
the person,
butt.
the question being also that does the person want
You don't. It's not about what you
Why?
want. It's
To
not.
grow.
So Uti, it's
why
not about
are
what you
you
want.
in
It is about
utopia?
from the day one. Set the standard.
No.
It's either you go and do this to upgrade yourself, or I do not give you a dime. If they were not giving him a dime from day one, this will not have landed to what
Let me tell you what will
he's bearing
happen.
now.
Let me tell you what will happen. Since you want to live in utopia, let me bring you back to
To
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
He said he was working for her.
Yeah.
She will pay whenever she wants to pay. We don't have enough information from this video.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But let me tell you how it happens. Because I have them in my family. Let's not
Well.
pretend like we're too posh to have them.
Yes.
We have them in our family. Let me tell you.
Good thing.
I know how much money I have given people to start businesses.
And they fail.
Because I
And
know
it.
that I don't want to keep feeding you. What can I give you today to empower you to start a business? Give it 2 months.
It's down the
They're
drain.
back. Now, when you talk about learning is not about
they
going
want
to
to
course. First, do you want to learn? There are
A
so
lot of
many
them.
people
Yeah.
who think that because I am connected to you by blood, you owe me.
me.
Does he even look like somebody that is capable enough for her to hire him? For starters, because
forget he said
they
he
came
was
from the
into
same
drugs
stock,
as well.
by the way. They came from the same stock. Whether you say she ended up marrying Lucky or whatever, she's built herself.
Life.
Now you're angry. You think that she owes you something because you came into the world through the same parents. She doesn't owe you a thing. These are the particular ones that no matter what you give them, they
will
think you
never
haven't
be
done enough.
satisfied.
They will never be satisfied because they think you have more. And whatever you have worked hard
In
for,
fact, what
they are
he
entitled
did,
to
because
it.
he said
The
that,
20,000 she was giving
20,000
to him.
that he was
Did
so
she pluck
given.
it from the sky?
I will still maintain my stance that you see this kind of thing when you already know the kind of people you have that you're dealing with. Set the foundation straight from the word
Until
go.
there's no certain any
It's not about.
foundation.
It's not this thing. You set
It doesn't
straight
work.
from the word
In
go.
so
It
many
You see that kind of
years,
person that you go and give money to for business. You don't give somebody money for business if the person is not empowered to run a business. You understand? That would eventually not fail. There are principles to success, right? how much do the people know about the success of running a business? That's my point.
Unfortunately.
So if I empower you with the knowledge gap, because what we are, all this grammar that
Whilst you are empowering them with knowledge,
gap here.
are they not going to eat?
Unfortunately, some people,
No, when you
some people do not want to be
learn.
helped.
So you are even talking about you not want to. Before you are empowering them to learn, aren't you going to feed them? Are they going to eat?
Funny enough, I had a situation that happened when we were growing up. We had 2 uncles who were sent to school on the same day. One went to school, the other took
The
his
highway.
school fees to Suya Sports.
Correct guy.
Come on.
And both of them, of
That's why you
course.
shouldn't have given him school fees. You should have got to pay the school fees yourself.
No, but even when you pay this, do you know how many of them you pay school fees for never make it to school? Look,
Some they don't
let's
just
first
go
of all agree that you have to take responsibility.
for yourself.
This person is
But
seeing
let me
this video
say, I'm just
has
trying-
refused to take
I'm just trying
responsibility.
to say that the guy's foundation is already
Exactly.
course.
But you refuse. When you don't
But
take
at some point,
responsibility,
you must be able to
you
take
came from the same
responsibility.
stock. Let's not even talk of people that were raised differently. You came from the same family. When you see your sister,
It's
if you had
hopefully-
the right, you will be, look, I will
with the kind of people
motivated around you.
You should have been successful.
Exactly.
But let's take comments. You know.
Okay, I have this one from Bobby Kennedy Jalingo in Taraba State. He says, "Good evening, ladies. That guy should just shut up and go do something for his life. Annie does not have to do everything for him. I know the family. We stay together at Jakande Estate, Lekki. Okay, the guy has been on drugs way back. Even Two-Face had to try to fix him up during his plantation boys time before he went solo. It's a shame that he's coming online to disgrace his family. What entitlement does is that he wants what entitlement does he want from his junior sister? God bless you, ladies. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah,
Thank
quickly.
you. So this says, good evening, my dear beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying Ways. I really don't understand Wisdom Macaulay, the elder brother of Annie Macaulay Idibia. If he has any beef or misunderstanding with his sister, why can't they settle it within the family? He did not do well at all to come out and whitewash his sister in public. It is very wrong. If he is married, he should go look for a job or a good business and fend for the family. At his age, he should be independent and nothing more. He should be shameless for now. Sister Uti, Sister Norma, you are welcome back. Sister Uti, happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Daniel.
May God bless you with beautiful gift, with a beautiful gift that you so much deserve, and give you long life and sound health. My name is Daniel Ilo Ways, a regular fan.
So mine is from Ade. It says, good evening, ladies. Right from the 80s to date, the system of governance has been a paddy business. Education and handiwork engagement will solve the problems. If youth has been engaged with skillful activities, will make them happier to grow and fend for themselves, and adds, we are all looking good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I was going to say that, honestly speaking, for me, it's still the knowledge gap that is the biggest problem. That's why we have this high level of entitlement mindset. So if we want to really solve the problem, even us, it might be painful, but do not hand over somebody money for business that the person is not empowered to run. Do not hand over somebody, money to go and do something that the person does not have the skill to do. So that's my point. I'm not saying that. So whilst we're at that, we're asking how would they feed. It is okay to give them feeding allowances or food or
Didn't
something.
you complain about the
Now
20,000?
now you're moving to go.
Didn't you complain about the 20,000?
I'm not talking about GoPro, so you can decide to say, you know what, I'm not even going to give you the money physically. You need provisions in your house, I will buy you provisions. You need your house rent, I'll buy, but you must finish that course and get something tangible. See, until we are
People
tough,
need to
this
take
thing,
responsibility.
where we are
That's
now, if
the
we do not
word
show
for their lives.
where we are now, if we do not show tough love, we will not move away from
Tough
where we
love
are.
also means you allowing them to take responsibility.
Yeah, we throw them in
See,
the
I don't
deep
like
end
the
of
fact that you're using
The
education and training as. How many graduates are working out there slinging their degrees with no job?
Okay, before we go, Thank you, Nama. Thank you.
I mean,
do ensure you follow us on Instagram, Salvation. We have run out of time. Interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. They're shouting in my ear. This time. All right, so if you missed today's quote, it is very short and simple. Value, money flows in the direction of value. It's as simple as that. So if you really want to be empowered, you want to be financially empowered or financially free, you have to give value to get money in return. We'll see you guys live tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.